I was watching this documentary earlier today and it was absolutely mind-blowing, this story that it shared from Plato and Socrates, and I want to break it down and show why it is so incredibly relevant to what's going on in the world right now and how you can break out of this place that so many people are stuck in. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. My name is Kara Michelle and I'm here to help you live your truth. And this is all about breaking free on today's video, breaking out of the constructs, breaking out of this place of being brainwashed by society, by what we've been told, and taking the blinders off to finally find your freedom. And this story, this old story that I came across, you may or may not have heard of it before, but it is so fascinating. So this is all, I forget the name of it already, but it was from Plato, and he had this story about the cave. And let me share with you what this looks like. So in this story, there were prisoners and they were inside. I can't draw a cave, so I just drew it like a little hole, but you know what I'm saying. So they were inside this cave and this is all that they knew, okay? This is where they spent all their time. They didn't know anything outside of that cave. And now, oh, there's something in my eye. Okay, so now there was people up above. Say these are the free people, right? They are living their normal lives. They're getting to experience everything. They see the sun, they see the moon, they see other people, they see the rolling hills. They know what's going on in the world, okay? But then they are up here, and in this story, there was a cave, there was fire, which would create shadows, and these prisoners, all they could see were the shadows on the wall. So all that they knew for their reality was the cave itself, and that these shadows would show up, and this is what they saw, this is what they perceived, and so they would start to create stories about what it means or what it is, but that's everything. Their perspective was so narrow because that's all they grew up seeing, right? So you can imagine how they're going to have a very limited view of the world, and this is everything that they know, right? So with that being said, this is everything that's safe to them because this is all they've been in, this is all they've experienced. Now you can imagine if one of them were suddenly to see say like a bird or something, they would be like, what the F is that? Like they wouldn't know what that is. It would be mind-blowing, okay? Or say they were suddenly handed down a ladder and they were allowed to come up into the light. Some people, this is where it gets really interesting, and you can translate this into our everyday society right now and see how you personally relate this and see it. But if they were allowed to come up out of their safe place, there would probably be some people who wouldn't want to take that ladder. They wouldn't want to take that step because this is what they know. This is what they believe is safe because it's all they've experienced in their life. So all of a sudden this ladder, oh my gosh, that could be terrifying, right? That could mean death. That could mean other horrible things. Death is probably the worst one, but it could just mean bad things. So there would be some people who would be like, no thanks, I'm gonna stay down here. Even though down here, they're so limited. They're missing out on everything, right? They're not enjoying things. They don't have the pleasures, the nature, the scenery, the abundance of company, the opportunities, right? But this is comfortable, so they might want to stay here. You might have some people who climb up the ladder, but when they get up here and they finally see like the sun rising, they would be blinded by it and they'd be like, whoa, what is this? You know, they see trees, they see hills in the background. They'd be like, what's going on out here? This is like a whole new world. This is something I don't understand and I don't know. And that might create them to feel panicked and nervous and want to come back down here. Or maybe it would create interest and desire and longing to figure out more and to experience all that's above in the real world. So what I found so fascinating about this story is a couple things. Number one, how much it relates to our society and what society teaches us, and how many people are living in this place because they've only been told certain things all their life. They've always been told over and over that, and I'm going to bring it back to the education systems, the healthcare systems, the workplace systems, whatever it is, the generations before my generation, I look at my parents' generation, what they grew up believing and being told was all about work, hustle, put in the hours, like family kind of comes second, you have to provide. It wasn't about doing work you loved, it was about just having a job and working to live instead of living to work. And then it was also very much when we were growing up, and you may not be the same generation, but just like you can understand. So when I was growing up, it was all about you have to get a degree. You have to go to university and get a degree in order to get a good job, in order to work 5 days a week, 9 to 5 each day, get your benefits, then save up, put a mortgage on a house, have a family, all these cookie cutter steps. This was the limited box that I grew up believing I needed to be in. And thankfully, I didn't really like that box. I didn't want to stay in there because it didn't feel good for me. I was the person who was like leaping to try and find a ladder, to be like, help me. There has to be something more and I want to find it. I was the one climbing up on the rocks to get out there, to see what's out there, what's more, what is actually the things that light me up. What do I really want to do? I want to explore the world. I want to heal myself. I want to look for methods that actually make sense to me, because the methods that these people are using didn't make sense to me. I remember having an argument with one of my friends in, it would have been in university days, because I still didn't really know what I wanted to take in university. I was on a volleyball scholarship, so I was basically just taking classes to play volleyball and trying to figure out what I really wanted to do. So I was switching between psychology, between animal welfare and environmental sciences, the things that really light me up, helping people and helping the animals, helping the planet, right? So, but I didn't know which one I wanted, because I wanted all of them, which is what I'm trying to do now by being self-employed, but that's a different story. So I had this argument with my friend because she was like, you just need to get a degree, get a job, have your benefits, and you can do something you like on the weekends. And this was like mind-blowing to me to hear from like one of my friends, because I was just like, how do you think that way? And this isn't to judge, because everyone has their different perspectives, but for me personally, that was mind-blowing, because I just thought, like, especially because after losing my brother Derek, life was really short. My whole perspective changed. So I just couldn't look at this old system and the limited perception that most people had, who were telling me, just get a job, even if you don't like it, just work at it every day, save up your money, go on a holiday once a year, maybe do some things you like on the weekend, but hate your life Monday to Friday so you can make money and then go do things you like. And I just couldn't live in that box. And so in one aspect, I love this story because it's really showing us how I think there is a huge shift going on right now where people are starting to go, you know what? My happiness actually matters. And my purpose actually matters. I want to feel fulfilled. I want to enjoy what I'm doing each day. And I want to use my gifts to actually make a difference in the world. And if you're one of those people, comment down below, let me know, or give this video a thumbs up to let me know that you are someone who knows and values their own happiness. You know you deserve better than doing something you don't like. And the thing is there are some people living in this place who are very happy. I have friends who are working their 9 to 5 jobs and they love it. And I'm excited for them. And I'm so happy that they enjoy what they do each day and that they're doing things that make them passionate, because that's the world needs that. We all can do what we love and make money off of it and be happy. I truly believe that in the core of my being. So it's not about one right way and one wrong way. It's about what is the right way for you. And instead of staying in this box of what you've been told to do and what society has taught us for all these years, it's about breaking that. It's like kicking that away and just doing what you want to do and what feels good for you, because you get to then lead and you get to show up, and you know what? You help inspire other people to see that there's more for them as well. Because the reason people stay in this place if they're unhappy is more so because they're afraid to take that step. And there's the fear of climbing the ladder into the unknown because we don't know what's going to be there. So it might be safer to stay in this limited place. And this is the comfort zone, right? This is the comfortably uncomfortable. Or did I say it the wrong way? We're living in the uncomfortably. We're living in the comfortably uncomfortable. We're not comfortable where we are, but it's comfortable because it's safe, because it's what we know. So you might be so unhappy, so anxious, depressed. You might hate your job every single day, but you are staying there because you know what it is. And it's a little bit more scary or uncomfortable to say, you know what, I'm going to quit and I'm going to go start my business doing something I really love. Because that's unknown and that can be scary, and that has less of the security and the safety that we kind of have incorporated into our mindset here. And the other part that I find so interesting is when we look at the power, the people up here versus the people down here. And without getting into a huge conspiracy theory of possibilities, this still is very symbolic for the fact that there have been people in control for years who have been telling us and creating these systems to keep people in control and to keep them following the rules, staying with the herd, working for other people for minimum wage and shitty benefits, and not caring about their health or well-being. There are a lot of people who are kind of ruling the rest of us. And this is where that whole example comes in of like the sheep being herded, because we grow up thinking a certain way. We grow up with a really limited perception. We only see these shadows. We only see what's in the box. They're up here living great lives. They're seeing everything. They're doing everything. They have all the possibilities and potential. And they're keeping us down here so that we only know certain things. And what's happening right now in the world is people are being exposed up here, and we're starting to see that this system doesn't work. This system has created really extremes of those who have major abundance, major success, all these opportunities, and those who are constantly staying stuck, struggling, just trying to get by, and there's no potential or opportunity for them to get out of that place. We look at the banking companies, the banks, the worldwide banks that are controlling by having people paying who are not making enough money to pay off things, and then ending up in debt, and then owing interest, and then getting more and more stuck down here while they're up here. So there's a lot of things with the actual systems and the hierarchy of our society that has been created to keep some people limited. And the whole point of this video, what I love about this story, about the cave and the lights, is that we all have the opportunity to climb that ladder. And maybe it's easier for some people than others in terms of situation right now and where you're at in your life. But in terms of awakening and opening your eyes and seeing things differently, we all have that opportunity right now to really go, you know what, there is a bigger world than what I've been told. And I don't know if I believe all these systems that have been put in place. And you know what? I'm going to start questioning and thinking about some things differently. We've been told, we've been created to believe that the medical system is the only way, when for thousands of years people have been healing naturally through plants, through herbal things, through energy work, through all the holistic methods that are available to us, and yet we've been brainwashed because this is going to create a massive profit to have everyone depending on prescription drugs or Medicare or healthcare or all these different things. There's a major flaw in the system, and it's time for people to climb that ladder, rise up, see things differently, look at their beliefs, look at the way the world works around them, and create this shift so that we're not just staying stuck seeing one thing that we're being told to see, and we're being fed this garbage over and over of like, this is how it is, this is how it works. It's time to kind of start opening your mind to the possibilities and what's out there for you. And this is this huge shift that's happening that I think is so cool to be a part of. And I'm excited for what's going to come in the future because I can feel it. And I know that the change is coming and that we're going to rise up together and start to create a better world where there is equality, there is more love, there's not so much separation and power hungry people and greed. It's going to be so beautiful to witness. So this is all I wanted to share on this video. I'd love for you to give this a thumbs up, hit the subscribe. Please share if you found this helpful. If you have any thoughts, comment them down below. As always, I love to hear from you guys. And let's awaken. Let's open our eyes to the infinite possibilities that are around us in this world that we've been so closed off to for so long because people didn't want us to see things for what they truly are. They wanted us to stay in control. They wanted us to just be workers for them. And now it's time for us to do what's right for us and to really reconnect to our infinite power. So join me, please. I would love to have you on this journey, and let's just all grow together and create some massive positive changes and positive movements. So thank you guys. I'll see you on the next one.